All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. I guess I should turn the windshield wipers on. It just don't rain here that much, so we get a chance to use the windshield wipers. We use them all the time. Anyway, it's still 70 degrees though, y'all. So don't come at me. Don't come. What is it? I try to talk to my kids, but I don't get it. Anyway, don't come for me. I think that's what the vernacular is. Anyway, so I got to do this like real quick. So I got 15 minutes, right? So I already used 30 seconds. But anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons for me, please. All right, I'm going in. I'm still going in. I got people attacking me. I got people, I'm being called. One side I'm getting hit by being called coon. The other side, I'm getting hit from saying that I'm blind and I can't see and all of this stuff. And all my woke people, they hate me now. They say that I'm no good or whatever, and that I'm not woke. But look, y'all, I got education. The one thing that I have is an education. And so I said, well, okay, one of the things that keep coming at me about is nobody died for us to vote. But then, I said, well, let me research that, And so then I remember, and then I didn't even look it up. I was like, then I started thinking back and I thought about, and I think I mentioned this yesterday, the Freedom Riders, and most of them were like Jewish, black, and basically liberal Democrats that rolled out for freedom so that people could get the right to vote. This is during the time that the Voting Rights Act was being voted on, or not being voted on, but being discussed, right? And so basically, let me explain something to you. So Medgar Evers, all right, James Chaney, and eventually Martin Luther King, and if you really want to say on it, when President Kennedy was assassinated, that's one of the things that racists had against him. All right. So don't get the game twisted. All right. People died so that you could vote. Now, next thing is, okay, so don't come at me with the argument about nobody died. Okay. Even if one person died, that's enough people. All right. Next thing I want to get at is this coronavirus. All right. And I want to say, go out and get some limes, some tortilla chips. I know everybody's like, oh, you're overreacting. Look, ladies and gentlemen, okay, as of right now, there have been about, from what this is the last thing I read, and so it might have changed by now, but there have been 1,000 cases of coronavirus. All right. About half of those people have died. So that's about 500 people, or a little over 500 people. Everybody who contracts it does not die from it. The next thing is, it is an old virus. It is not a new virus. Nobody just created it. Nobody came up with it. It has been around for a long time, at least since the creation of Lysol and Purell hand sanitizer, because both of those have it listed on their products as things that will kill the coronavirus. All right. As far as I know. And so look, and even a couple of the liquor companies have come out, and I'm not going to say which liquor, but there's certain, well, I'll say vodka. There's some vodka out there that is claiming that it will kill the coronavirus just by taking a shot. All right. So now, and I mean, and it's not but hold on. It's not an official company policy. That's what I want to get at. All right. But people are saying that, hey, if you take a shot of vodka, or some people are saying even, and I know this is like racist to the hilt, but some people are saying that tequila will knock it out. So get some tequila and some limes. I'm getting ready to go meet one of my boys that's Mexican. Holla at him for a little while. And and we gonna trade medicinals. But anyway, but look, so here's the thing. This is what is causing the coronavirus. Trump. Why do you think Trump is not afraid of the coronavirus? Why do you think he keeps saying it's a hoax? Why do you think he keeps saying that, oh, how come you can't just give him a flu shot? Because the virus is as old as the flu. And every year people die from the flu. And most of the people that have died have not gotten the virus by being airborne, right? They have gotten the virus because they ate something that had the virus contained in it. That's what I told you when I first did this whole thing about it. I was like, look, this is like an old virus. It's been around for centuries. It's been around forever. So if Lysol has it on their can, and if Perel soap, I guess that's how I'm pronouncing it, if they have it on their hand sanitizer, and people have been putting it in, sanitary, have been putting the agents that will kill it, bleach will kill it, ammonia will kill it, and alcohol will kill it. So a 500, or say even as 1,000 people died, right? There are 6 billion people on the face of the earth. 6 billion. 6 billion. Now, when you start getting up in the thousands or even the tens of thousands and stuff like that, then give me a call. Then I, call a brother. But look, more than 500 people a day die from cardiac arrest. More than 500 people a day die from cancer. More than 500 people a day die from a whole bunch of other stuff that does not include the coronavirus. All right. So I do think people are overreacting. Like now they're starting to close down schools, talk about they can't have classes in classrooms and stuff like that. That's insane. If the people didn't get it before, then now everybody's taking class online. I mean, come on, really? And most of the data supports what I'm saying. It says that, look, these people were, especially the ones in China and in Italy, they were ingesting food that contained the virus. They were eating stuff that had the virus in it. That's why they couldn't get rid of it. And then you got little babies and Africans and all these other people that are completely 100% recovering. All right. So I think we need to step back and look at stuff a little bit more before we start that. But here's the reason why they're spreading all of this. Remember, we were all going to die from Ebola. The Ebola virus is going to wipe out half of the Earth's population, or we had all of the, and we had a few people, the same situation. A few people got it and died from it. And then everybody else ended up living. All right. So I do think we're overreacting. I just do, and it's like, if it's that bad of an airborne virus, then nobody would be surviving. No one. Even some of those people who were quarantined on the cruise ship and all of that, they didn't die. They got flu-like symptoms. They got gastrointestinal problems. They had things like that. But people get that every day. People get food poisoning every day from bad food. And people die from food poisoning. But you don't run out and panic and say, oh, everybody, we can't get next to each other because we got food poisoning. So, with that being said, now the real reason behind the coronavirus is the economy. And trust and believe this, and y'all will find out that this will bear out, and this is not a conspiracy theory. The Dow Jones, okay, the stock markets are crashed. The United States stock markets are crashed. Nobody has faith in our stock markets. Why? Because of the tax cut. And I've been telling y'all about this tax cut since it happened. Look, we have no tax base. The government has shut down several times since Trump has been president. Why? The government keeps shutting down because there's no money. You cannot give 30% of the richest corporations and the richest people in the world back all of the money and let them keep all of that money and don't replace it with something. And now they're running around talking about cutting entitlement programs, cutting Social Security. We're going to cut Medicare. We're going to cut Medicaid. We're going to cut welfare. We're going to cut food stamps. We're going to cut anything that we can cut. Why? We're cutting education. We're cutting everything. Why? Because there's not enough money. The government is $22 trillion in debt. And there's no way to make that money up because the rest of the tax money comes as a thing of states' rights. So the states are the ones that are getting taxes, but the federal government, they just gave all their tax money away. They have no way to fund the government. If you don't have taxes, you can't fund the government. And the rich and you gave all of that money back to the rich people. The poor people who run the economy cannot afford to buy stuff. And eventually it's going to start showing up. People are going to start losing their houses. People are going to start losing their cars. People are going to start losing their businesses. It's going to happen. Just like it's the same type of economics that Bush and the Republicans always try to run. So do not be surprised. All right. And so the virus is something to take away from the news cycle so the newspaper people have something else to report on. So everybody is more concerned about dying from coronavirus than they are about what's going on with the government. Because the government is literally falling apart and disintegrating in front of us. $22 trillion. The deficit has never been that. All right. And it never started. And like I said, all of this stuff, you cannot fund a government without money. The rich need to be paying their fair share of taxes. It's just simple. It's simple economics. Once again, you can't remove you can't move trillions of dollars from one section and move it to another section and not replace the trillion that you took. You can't do it. They don't have any money. There's no tax base. It's just like the same thing happened in the city of Detroit. That's where I'm from. Okay, everybody moved out to the suburbs. All of the car companies moved out of town. There's no tax base. And what happens? People lose their houses. People lose their cars. People move. They leave. And that's what happened. And that's what's happening now in the United States of America under Donald Trump. And basically, and the other thing is, the other thing that goes hand in hand with it is what? Is that the fact that they're moving all regulation away from every major business to try to save business people money, to try to put business people back, to try to give them money or to make them not follow government regulations. That's why Trump does not go along with the whole, with all of the things that have to do with the atmosphere. You know, all the global warming things and all of that kind of stuff. Because what? They deregulated everything. Oh, you don't need any emission standards. You don't need standards on what you can, what you can burn off and put into the air. You don't need standards about what you can dump into the water. You don't need standards about all of that stuff is done away with. And then the other thing is all of the embargoes and all of the things that they've put in place have made the farmers the backbone of the economy is farms. Without food and without giving people food and selling people food, you don't really have an economy. Because the one thing that goes on every day, everybody has to eat every day. You don't have to necessarily drive, and everybody needs a house or a place to live. Homelessness is going up and up and up and up. There are more people, and the people that are on the street, guess who they are? Mostly veterans who he claims he loves and going to do it. Look, right now, if I wanted to, but I don't do it because I don't want to embarrass the men that are out there, but there are literally thousands. And I'm talking about right here in Phoenix where I live. And if you go to Los Angeles, there's probably 10 times more. And guess what? The majority of those people served in the military and now they can't get any benefits. And why is that? Because there's no money. Because you gave all the money to the rich people. That's what happened. And everybody, so that's why I say voting, and my friend DD, he says, not voting has consequences. Just like, so we didn't vote Hillary in because we were worried about some emails. So now Trump is president and all of the money is what? It's going back to the rich. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to lose it like they did last time. Oh, what happened to the money? We don't know. Or they put it into defense spending or defense contracts. And all of them are the ones that own those defense companies. It's not the little man. It's not the small man. So stop tripping about the coronavirus, and you better start tripping about the economy and about what's happening to your money. And what's going to happen to your money if the whole slowdown of all of the inflation doesn't stop. If it doesn't stop, then what's going to happen? And who are we in debt to? We're $22 trillion in debt. To who? I'm asking a question. Leave me an answer. You think it could be the Chinese? Even Trump buys his Make America Great hats again from the Chinese. Anyway, Fastest 15 minutes is over. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the love button.